What up, what up, what up? This is RJ Fantasy Football Talk, and we back again for another episode. Hey,
Yo,
first week of fantasy football. It's in the books.
yes.
Definitely it was different. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'm just glad it's back, man. Honestly, you know who we are. I'm Rodney. This is
Yo,
JJ.
what's up?
What's going on, bruh? What's
Hey,
going
you
on?
said the word. It was crazy, but I'm glad because, hey, we talked before. I didn't even think the season was going to start. That was my opinion going. I was like, this thing is going to crash and burn. It's going to be a
Exactly.
complete disaster. So, just the fact that we have football, I'm super excited. My team, not so excited about. I'm in 7 leagues, waiting
Yeah.
for potential an eighth league that might have a late draft. But I went 3-4 in the first week, so eh,
Yeah.
some room for
Yeah.
improvement, but I ain't too mad at it. How about you?
Yeah. I went. I'm in 6 leagues. I went
Right.
3-3. I was in a nail biter all the way to the
Yeah,
end of Monday night, and I lost because AJ Brown just didn't get the ball.
no, no,
And I was like, "Are we looking at the Tannehill of Miami?" Because I'm like, "Yo, if you don't get him the ball, I'm about to literally lose."
yo,
And I lost, so he cost me a game. So other than that, I think I did well. I split down the middle. I could have won 5 out of 6, but it happens. It's all good though.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
ain't tripping.
yeah.
So it was good though. I'm waiting. I'm ready for this week. I can't wait. So definitely.
Yeah.
Um,
So, based off AJ Brown's production, our theme is overreactions for the night. You
yeah.
about to drop AJ Brown or trade
No, I ain't doing that.
and
No,
pick up Corey Davis because
no,
apparently he's
no,
the number one wide receiver out there. So
no. I think I think they're
yeah,
gonna get it together. I think Tannehill, even though
yeah,
I mean I'm not a big fan of Tannehill, I think Tannehill from Miami is definitely gonna show up.
yeah,
But you
yeah,
cannot get AJ Brown the ball. I just
yeah. That's
you
that.
you have to treat him like I mean, just like a Devontae Adams. Because the
You
thing
gotta
is,
feed
you
him.
have nothing
Yeah.
else out there. You got to throw the ball 17 to 20 times a game. Just give it to
Just
him. He's a big
throw
guy.
it up
I
there.
mean,
I mean, look what he did as a rookie. So I'm like, I'm not
exactly.
understanding how you're not even just throw it like you said, just throw a dart, see what happens. It's, if you're a
Yeah,
good quarterback, you can put it in a spot where only he can reach it, right? I think
exactly.
that's the whole point. So yeah, I'm thinking they're gonna use him a bit better than they did
I,
last night.
I
So
would hope so. I mean, he's just too big not to get the ball. I mean,
too good.
he does it. He's too good. He don't drop the ball. His hands is really big, so he get the ball. You got to get it to him. If it
Yeah,
ain't him or Derrick Henry, don't nobody else should touch the ball. Like that's my theory. Corey Davis is good, but
yeah,
Corey Davis doesn't make it happen unless AJ Brown is not getting work. So in
yeah,
the long run, that helps them. But we'll see.
yeah,
But other than that, I feel like it was a good week. I think
yeah,
I can bounce back this week in certain leagues and
yeah,
get that first win. So I mean, it's week one. Ain't no need to overreact. I've seen some people make
yeah,
trades after this first week. Insane.
yeah.
I mean, come on, man. No, we're not doing that.
I've
So
seen people dropping folks, and it's like,
yeah,
come on, if you had any sort of research or put any time and effort into your draft, stick to the script that you hopefully made some good decisions. Unless you just already think that you're the worst person manager
worst,
ever. Like
worst
if you
GM.
if you don't have any confidence in your GM skills, I guess
Exactly.
you start making big changes. But if you kind of know what you're doing, stick to the script. You know what I'm saying? Just see how it plays. At least give it to week 2 or 3 before you start
Yeah,
making wholesale changes.
I
Unless
would
you
say.
will head. We'll talk later about all the injuries. In that
I would
case, then
say.
you're gonna do
I
that.
would say week 4.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't panic now. Now,
No.
if you start off 0-2, 0-3, 0-4, something like that,
Panic time.
then you got to kind of start making adjustments. I would even say 0-3. You got to
Yeah.
make an adjustment at some point there.
Yeah.
But it just depends on how your league is structured and what guys are in your league for you to start panicking. But if you're in a league where you can kind of make it up, I think you'd be all right.
Yeah.
Ain't no need to panic now. I'm literally, I played a guy last week and he traded. He made a trade the next day. I got a
Right.
trade offer that night, Sunday night. That's how bad guys were panicking. And I'm
Right.
like, really? Monday night ain't even hit yet, and y'all asking for trades. I'm like, y'all are crazy, man. If you don't get off my phone, I'm What's wrong with y'all, man? And then he wanted my best. He wanted Matt Ryan.
Did he see the game? Because
That's what I told him. I was like, yo, did you watch the game?
450 yards, and then you gonna trade him? Like,
Yeah,
no.
No, we're not doing that. So,
Matt Ryan is the reason I won. The only reason I won one of my games. So,
well, he's the reason I won at least 3 of my games.
Yeah,
all 3 of my games because I had him in 3 leagues. So, no, he's never leaving my roster. So don't even ask me. So it's no. But we got a good show. We got some good topics.
A lot to talk about.
First thing I do want to talk about is no fans in the stands.
Yeah.
How did y'all feel? How do you think the players played? I mean, did it look different on TV for you? For me personally, it just looked. They tried.
Right.
They tried really hard to throw in that sound.
Yeah.
They tried. I mean, but when you pan and you see all those empty seats, it's like it's a scrimmage game and they're practicing against another team.
All right. If they only had the camera on the field, it kind of looked and sound, like you said, like a regular game with the plate there noise. But every time they would pan out, and you could see, or they kicked the point after touchdown or a field goal, and you could see, man, it is like straight empty. You had the reminders. But
I mean, honestly, I think it affected the defense a little bit more than the offense because offensive guys can kind of get themselves going, but I think defensive guys, especially like linebackers and safeties, they need that fandom there to get them the juices flowing a little bit.
Right.
And
getting hyped.
That's what. Yeah, you got to get hyped, and it won't there for some teams.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen a lot of teams lose that won't supposed to lose, and they probably just won't in it.
That's why your 49ers lost.
No, we lost because we lost. I mean, it happens. But we lost because the fact that receivers didn't show up, which they should have. Our running game showed up, and I think we wasn't aggressive enough. Honestly, that's my take on it. So I feel like we should have been more aggressive on offense. Because I watched the whole game. And we was on like the 10 and 4th and 2, and we didn't go for it. So I was like, we should have at least went for it at least. Yeah. But it's neither here nor there. It's week 1. We'll regroup. Yeah. So no big deal.
Yeah, but to your point about the noise, another thing, and I think I can't remember which game it was I was watching. One of the commentators brought in the fact that people were able to operate their goal line offenses so easily and switch up plays. Like, it's usually so loud in the stadium there that a visiting team wouldn't be able to just switch up their play so effectively. And I think that definitely made it easy for certain visiting offenses, especially that you couldn't get drowned out. We have our first comment for the night. Orlena Lewis says the Black fans didn't bother her. Just wanted to see the teams play hard. She is not talking about her Colts, who did not play hard enough. I picked the Colts defense against they're playing against the Jaguars. It's gonna be a home run defense. They're gonna shut them down. I was like, or maybe I should not just trust a bad defense against a bad team, because I was like, there was no way I expected the Jaguars to put up the amount of points they did, because they were a train wreck before the season started once they traded Leonard Fournette. But yeah, shame on the Colts.
Yeah. But I mean, I picked them up too, and they didn't do much better for me. So it's a defense, so you can't be too mad, honestly. But I feel like they should have did a little bit better against that team, because the team only could pass the ball. They can't run the ball because they ain't got no running back.
Right.
I mean, if you have 4 down linemen and you run a down package, I mean, you probably can stop somebody from passing. But who knows? We don't know. But other than that, it's I think, like, even the Dallas game, I think that kind of affected the Cowboys a little bit, because I think the first week was weird because of the fact I think a lot of teams was rusty. No OTAs, no training camp, no preseason. And I think a lot of that stuff going to get worked out in week 2 for most teams. But I also think they're going to have fans in the stands in a couple of weeks, honestly.
Hey, we had surprise fans in Denver because they weren't supposed to have any. They had like 500, I think. people they invited, something
Yeah.
like that family members and stuff like that, they're allowed to come in the stands. And so we saw, counting them, there was 3 teams that did it the first week, and like you said, there are other teams that have plans to do it in a week or two. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Because I think the Broncos were saying they were kind of testing the waters to
Right.
see how it will work for them. But they saying they're gonna have, if I'm not mistaken, 5,700 fans coming, or either or they're gonna have like a full stadium. So in the next couple of weeks for the next home game. So I think slowly but surely they're gonna start kind of bringing fans in, and I think because they're gonna see, obviously from the Kansas City game, which honestly I don't think they're gonna report it. That's just my belief. So if no one comes out and say, "Oh, I caught COVID from the Kansas City going to the Kansas City game," nobody's gonna know, because all they're doing is test on the NFL players and the personnel.
Right.
So they're not gonna know about the fans unless somebody just had to go to the hospital and say how you catch it.
That's where if it gets found out at all, like you said, it's gonna be because someone did contact tracing from there. But I don't know how easy it'll be. Do you have a list of, these are all the people that were at the game? You got to contact people that was in a certain section, because if you saw them, they had them somewhat spaced out when you looked at the some of them groups were, I guess that maybe they were groups that came together or something. That some places were close, but they were a bit spread out. So I don't even know if they would report that back, or if they had the mechanism to report back. So yeah, like you said, we'll see.
Are they? Then my question though is, are they testing testing these people when they? Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
I would think so. Well, maybe like temperature scans or something like that. I know at some places but they don't do it for like a grocery store or something like that. So it might be treated like that, where you just go in and you're spaced out. So I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would like to. I mean, because I know, like, at the airport, they do a full body scan. So I don't know if that was implemented in the stadium for them to do a full body scan to see your temperature and all that stuff. That way they don't have to go through all that to check your temperature with a temperature gun. So I don't know. Maybe that's something they do. But I just feel like in the next couple of weeks, like, I know the Packers' third home game is going to be fans. They already said that. And then, like, I think a couple other teams said they just going to reevaluate the situation once a couple weeks pass as far as that. So definitely, I mean, we'll see that. So, but hey man, people, like I say, people, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. First, I also want to talk about the guys that did work this week.
Yeah.
A lot of them. I want to start with the quarterbacks.
Okay.
And I did 3. My 3 that I think did well, like excellent, was Matt Ryan, Aaron Rodgers, and Russell Wilson. Matt Ryan went bananas. I mean, like, even though they lost,
but late.
But
yeah, because I was like you. I have Matt Ryan on like 3 different teams, and so I'm frustrated for the majority of the game. But the only thing that was keeping me was like, okay, they are at least losing poorly, that I know he's going to be slinging it around in the second half. But he slung it more. I was like, okay, I was not expecting that, but thank you.
Yeah, he definitely, like, 450, 2 touchdowns, 37 completions. I mean, if your league does completions
and 400-yard bonuses
per reception, that's 37 points right there. I mean, then you're thinking about the 450 and the 2 touchdowns. You can't be mad at that either. So he definitely. Now, the surprise that I ain't gonna say I didn't think he was gonna do well, and had a monster game. Yeah. Maybe he upset because people don't think he still got it, or they drafted a quarterback. I don't know. But whatever they did, they made him upset. And he is just based off that game, I think he's gonna have a good year.
4 touchdowns. I was like, this is old Aaron Rodgers, 264 yards. I was like, where was this dude that year I had him? So
exactly.
But he put it on. So of course we're not talking those yet, but as a result, Devontae Adams had a monster game.
Yeah,
so
definitely. I mean, then Russell Wilson, Russell Wilson being Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
I mean,
what
31 or 35.
Mr. Unlimited.
Yeah. I mean, he was efficient too.
Right.
31 or 35, 322, 4 touchdowns. I mean, you can't ask for no more than that, honestly. No. So, hey, that's what he do because they don't have nothing else. Right. I mean, because DK had between DK and the other receiver, I think
Tyler
he had Tyler Lockett. I think they did work. I ain't mad at him. So, who was on your? Who did you see did well for you?
All of those I had on the list, but then I threw in a couple of impact players that surprised me a little bit because I drag them quite often. I think we both have Josh Allen. I'm gonna say kudos, Josh Allen. Hey, I'm always criticizing him when he does poorly. He was a game bait. He did what, 33 completions, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. I mean, you can't even knock it.
I'm gonna throw shade though. I'm gonna throw shade.
Before you throw shade, we got Anita joining us. So welcome back to the show. It's been a long time, but throw your shade. Shade.
They played the Jets. That's all I'm saying.
I knew that was coming, right?
They played the Jets. I'm just saying. I'm gonna leave it at that. I ain't gonna say no more.
They played the Jets. I will say it was not the biggest test of his skills.
That's all I'm saying.
But why he did well, because I'm gonna knock him. The first game he throws multiple interceptions, or his passing completion is sub 50%. I'm gonna rag him. So Josh Allen did a great job.
He did a great job.
Kudos. He was a top 5 quarterback week 1 against the Jets.
That's all.
Another surprise, and I couldn't believe it, Mitch Trubisky. I mean, when you look at his stats, they're not great. He didn't even throw for 300 yards this game.
Came back and won.
But they won, number 1. And number 2, he had 3 touchdowns. So I was like, hey, that's the name of the game. He only had 20 completions, so it's not like he was lighting up the field. But like you said, they won. And if you put him in, you got some good results from him. And of course, I'm a Baltimore local, so I'm gonna talk about Lamar Jackson. So
definitely Lamar played well.
Because the thing we was looking at was Lamar Jackson last year was just incredibly unbelievable in a way that like no human should be able to put up those kinds of stats.
Exactly.
He came right back where he left off. So it's like,
yes, he did.
Again, not throwing for a lot of yards. So if you're in a league that does pass points per completion and you get bonuses for yards, Lamar Jackson's not going to be your guy there. But if you're a standard league where touchdowns matter more than anything else, he threw 3 touchdowns for you. So
exactly.
Hey, gotta respect what he did. So
I think I like what Lamar did. I think he threw for 275.
Yep, 275.
Threw for 275. If he could get right at the 300 range, because I think he can get there. I think he can get there, and I think he gonna get those touchdowns. So,
right. Your girl, she's back and she's here to throw shade. She said, "How about those 49ers?"
And who does she like again? I just need to know who she like again. Who is she a fan of, by the way?
Yeah, I let her post if she has an official answer. I have a guess, but I don't know for certain which team she's gonna rock. But I don't think it's a single team. I think
so she can't talk to me. You can't talk to me if you if you got multiple teams. You can't even talk to me. At least
we'll give her a chance to respond. She might.
Okay. At least I go down with the ship with my boys. I mean,
and you went down with the ship.
I go down with the ship. That's one thing about me. I'm gonna go down with the ship. It's so bad, y'all. JJ said I was gonna call you to check on you to make sure you was okay, because he know how I am about my games.
Yeah,
it was a time last year. We was on the phone. I don't know if you remember this. We was on the phone, and we was playing the Saints. And I turned my TV down. I turned my TV down because I did not want to hear to see if we made the kick.
I had to tell you how the game ended.
Tell me if we made the field goal. He was like, y'all made it. I was like, yes. So I went crazy because I'm a real fan. When we lose, I kind of sulk a little bit. So, it is what it is. I take that.
Yeah. So you're sulking 2 games in a row now, counting the Super Bowl and then week 1. Man. So
you know what? I already told you why we lost. We didn't play well. We stunk up the field a little bit. It's cool. I take that. But this week we played it.
I'm about to say, so there's the glass half full. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get the Jets this week, so
we get the Jets.
You can check a win mark right there. So
we should win. We should win. So we can check that. So I'm good with that. So we're gonna move on to the running backs.
Right. Who you got there?
I got Clyde Edwards.
He was everything people expected him to be. Yeah.
And look, I was like, man, this kid balled out. And he put up 138 in a touchdown.
Yeah.
He definitely balled.
And here's the thing about him. No receiving yards at all. And that was the thing. I was like, he's going to be an impact player because he's going to catch out the backfield. They were like, nah. He's going to be bell cow. He's just running.
He's running between the tackles. So this kid was, we watched the game. Like, me and you was on the phone and we was watching the game. And we was like, yo, this kid is playing well. We was like, this is crazy.
So
Damian Williams, brother, I'm sorry. You should have played. I mean, no offense. I understand. I get it.
I respect him for the reason he opted out. However, he's not going to have a job when he gets back.
He's not going to have a job when you get back, though. But I don't even
that's a fact.
That. So your job is gone. So you might as well. You can pick up like Kareem Hunt did and go somewhere else and still kind of succeed.
Yeah.
Good job. But, Then my next one is Derrick Henry. He only had 116 yards, but that's what Derrick Henry do. He's not catching out the backfield. He going to do his 100 and keep it moving. And then another one is Benny Snell Jr. He came in after the starter got hurt, and he had 113 yards, no touchdowns, but he came in and he was effective. And they won the game, and they did well. I just think he may. I'm hearing that he may start this week if
James Conner. Don't know.
James Conner's not healthy, so they saying, but they didn't. They never disclosed what the injury was.
Right,
so I'm not sure if it was an ankle or what, because he was on the sideline. He looked fine on the sideline. They just saying I didn't know. I don't know. So. Who did you have on your list?
Well, we know the usual guys that did well. You have your Christian McCaffreys and your Ezekiel Elliott, so I'm not going to talk about them. They're number one picks because of who they are. But I'm going to go Homer and say Josh Jacobs. Getting it done with 3 touchdowns in one game. So, he bought it 93 yards rushing, 46 receiving, doing basically everywhere for the Raiders. So, I got to give my guy some props on this. You mentioned a guy that was probably went undrafted in a lot of leagues with Snell putting up big numbers. I'm going to go for another guy who was undrafted in most every league. Nyheim Hines. It's just like, and going back to, you was talking injuries earlier, with Marlon Mack out for the year, it's going to be Jonathan Taylor and Hines. And they right now they're talking about Hines might be the Austin Eckler for Phillip Rivers Colts. By the way, I see that old man River comment Anita put on Phillip Rivers. But Hines he looked like the truth. Like it's week 1, so we don't overreact. But I don't think that's an overreaction. I think he's going to have a solid year. Unless Jason Taylor, but who knows that? I still don't know what to make of him yet. He's going to have his chance with Marlon Mack out, but it goes to what we said last week, where they said he was basically there to be the breather, right?
The breather. So
not anymore.
Guy that could take it from him.
So that's going to be interesting to see how that develops over the years. So one other guy I'm gonna bring out. Well, actually, I'm gonna bring out 2 because it's just going unexpected again. Malcolm Brown. I'm just gonna say, hey, they made him a starter, and he's like, Cam Akers, you better sit in the back seat, because Cam Akers was the noise you heard in the whole offseason. Malcolm Brown. What did he put in? 2 touchdowns. He put in 79 yards rushing, 31 receiving. But I'm surprised you didn't mention the guy I really want to talk about, Raheem Mostert.
Baby.
Yo, did he do it?
Man, ain't want to
y'all
cut you
lost,
off because
but he did
we
it.
lost. But did you see the touchdown when he caught it? When he caught the
Yeah.
touchdown and burned the whole roster?
Yo,
I mean,
and he
Raheem
did it
almost,
all. He did it almost exclusively receiving, like 95 yards receiving, only 56 on the ground. So, yo,
like honestly, I think Raheem is gonna he's an RB2 right now.
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah,
he's somebody that you can play every week. Because it's all about opportunities.
Right.
Even though they got McKinnon,
but they didn't get as many carries as I thought. He was pretty much dominating the backfield, which was I think probably unexpected by a lot of people, thinking that he wouldn't get that much.
I thought they would use Tevin Coleman, McKinnon, and Raheem Mustard equal.
Right.
I thought they would split it up, but to me, I don't see that going forward. I think Raheem, the better he plays, the more he just gonna slide away from that pack, and he's gonna come in and do work. I know Anita said something. I already know it. I know she said something.
Going back to you going down with the ship comment. She mentioned that the Titanic wasn't a movie, so you go. It's real life. So I think she
never explained, but she never.
She hasn't said her thing yet, but she's actually made another comment. And by the way, hello Alexis, whose account Anita's using right now. But we were talking. We're gonna jump slightly off football. We're coming right back though. I was talking to her yesterday. I think it was right before the the Nuggets and the Clippers game. And so we were chatting about how it's all rigged for LeBron to get a championship. My father just tuned in, so he knows I'm telling the truth. That it was all rigged for LeBron, but they wanted the Clippers in there, and so she called it. She was like, "The Nuggets are going to win Game 7. Clippers aren't going to get there." So she was just bragging. She made $1 on that, a whole $1. So she got back-to-back wins there. So congratulations on your $1. I was gonna actually email you today to let you know. Yay, you called. You should have put some serious money on those Clippers losing because she called it.
Honestly, we talked about that the other day.
Yeah, we were talking it as well, right?
Yeah, we talked about that, but we ain't gonna bring that up up here because we already talked about that. We can go on there.
All right, we'll go back to football. We got another comment from my father. The same, you see Josh Lewis in the comment section. It's not me ranking the comment. That's my father making this comment. He talked about impact players, and he wants to talk about the Steelers defense, who they brought it. They did. I am shocked. Not shocked because they're typically a good defense, but I was expecting a lot from Daniel Jones. Well, maybe a lot's the wrong word, but I expected more from Daniel Jones. They did not have him. He did not look good against that defense. And mad at him, though, because they also shut my man Saquon Barkley down, who went second pick on it. And they had a stat they show, I think it was on ESPN, that Ben Roethlisberger outrushed Saquon Barkley. And when that happens, the Giants are going to have a bad night.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think he makes strides this year?
I think so.
I know it's one game, but
it's one game. I'm not overreacting too much.
Yeah.
He'll have some better games, I think. So, yeah. I'm not worried yet. I'm not worried yet, but if you have Daniel Jones, you only had him probably as your backup, or if you're in a 2-quarterback league, he was your second QB anyway. So you're probably not expecting a lot from him.
Exactly.
But the first game, I'm sure, doesn't have you feeling very confident about what to do with him.
From what I saw, he holds the ball a little bit too long for me. Big Ben did the same thing though. Big Ben, but I will say this: Big Ben. In that second quarter, I think, because the first quarter he looked a little shaky, like he was trying to get all of it back. But that second quarter, that form started to show, and then the second half it really showed. Yeah. So
he missed the whole first season. Last season. So
he missed the whole season.
Yeah. So it takes some. I figured it'd take him a while. So I'm not too. He looked good, like you said, and Juju was the happiest of all people to have him back.
Yes.
Right. So
Juju, if that's it, all contingent on Big Ben staying healthy. If Big Ben can stay healthy, I think that team can go far, and I think Big Ben can have him and Juju can be successful in fantasy this year. So it's just all about him staying healthy.
Right.
Well, we'll see.
Staying on Big Ben, we have a comment from Trey. Good evening to you as well. He said, who should he start this week in a full PPR? Melvin Gordon or James White? And also Big Ben or Carson Wentz? I'll let you go first.
Melvin Gordon, it depends on Lindsey.
Right.
If Lindsey doesn't play, which I'm hearing he's day to day, they say he might play. James White, I just don't know about that whole situation in New England. I'm going Melvin Gordon just because I think Lindsey is not going to play, and they say he's going to get the bulk of the carries now.
Right.
And was it Big Ben and Wentz?
Big Ben or Carson Wentz?
I'm going Big Ben on that one. That's pretty easy for me. So I'm going Big Ben on that one. I think Big Ben, Carson Wentz receivers, he ain't really got them right now. I mean, he getting right now the receiving core is not the greatest, and we seen Wentz do well without a great receiving core. But I think if Big Ben played just like he played in the second half of last week, for a whole game, I think you get a greater game out of Big Ben. Honestly, what you think?
Well, I'm definitely going with you on Melvin Gordon because I'm with you. I don't think Phillip Lindsey's going to play. And even if he did, I'd probably still pick him over James White. I'll tell you a little bit about me. If they're running back and they play for Bill Belichick, you're not on my squad.
That is true.
So,
that is true.
I want no parts of anybody that's on that team. I have made a few exceptions for James White in the past, so I get the interest in him. But if I have other options, I'm going other options. So I'm going Melvin Gordon 100%. The other one's a harder question. Big Ben, they're playing against the Broncos, and Carson Wentz and the Eagles, they're playing against the Rams, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they're playing Rams.
Carson Wentz was terrible. because I have Carson Wentz in one of my leagues, and he started off that game against Washington looking great, and he ended it looking like trash. But I'm gonna actually roll the ball again and say give Carson Wentz another shot for this week and see how it goes. If not, then I'm back. It's hard to not say Big Ben though, because he looked much. He looked better. He looked better. I think Carson Wentz. I'm going to talk myself right out of it because I like Carson Wentz better, but based off what I saw week 1, I'm trying to take my own advice to not overreact. But Big Ben has better. Big Ben has healthy receivers. I'm changing my mind. Big Ben, yeah, I'm with you. I'm gonna go with healthy players everywhere and say Big Ben.
Yeah, I'll take Big Ben on that one too. So yeah. Okay.
Nita's chiming in. She also says pick Big Ben. So if you want to trust that person that got the Clippers game right, then there you go. Nita also said that she just loves sports and certain players, and if you ever met her, you know any team with a black quarterback, she said she's rooting for. She was and I can't verify this. She was a Washington football team fan for 17 years. So she has had loyalty in the past, but I don't think she has any team loyalty. She has player loyalty now.
So she talking about my team and her team ain't won nothing in how many years now? I'm just saying, like, can you win the divisions and some games first before you talk about last? Yeah. But we love you though because you fan of the show. We love your football team.
Not anymore though. Well, actually, she probably does like them now. So but yeah, we'll see. Yeah. But yeah, Trey says thanks. So hey, anytime Trey, I hope to always have you back anytime with questions. So thank you.
The page,
thank
Trey,
you for asking.
Thank you. Like the page, subscribe.
Yeah, for everybody. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet and the like button, please do that for us. We'd appreciate it.
Really would.
All right. Now, so want to hit wide receivers, or do you have any more running backs?
I want to go to the wide receivers.
Okay.
I got 4 on this one. Devontae Adams, definitely. 14 receptions, 156 yards, 2 touchdowns. What more can you say? I mean, he had 100 yards at halftime. So, balled out. DeAndre Hopkins, 14,
Nuke.
151.
Got it done, right.
Well,
and threw some shade at his old team.
Yeah.
Rightfully so,
Julio,
though. Rightfully so.
Julio, 9, 157. Can't be mad at him.
Yeah.
But this guy I'm about to say, and you're a big proponent of this guy. You really love this guy.
Don't take my guy. I'm gonna let you say it, but don't take my guy.
I'm not gonna take him. I'm gonna just say it because he was on my list. But me and you talk all the time. People know this. We talk every day, all day, and you always tell me this guy's gonna take that role at some point.
I know who you're talking about. Go for it. You can say
Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley. 9,
nasty.
130 and 2 touchdowns.
Nasty.
Between Julio and Calvin Ridley, that makes Matt Ryan probably he's gonna throw for 5,000 yards this year because those two balled out. Right. I mean,
no, not those two. You can't say those two without mentioning Russell Gage.
I forgot about Russell Gage.
He had 3 wide receivers all over 100 yards. All of them had, I think, 12 targets. All of them had 9 receptions. It was like he spread the love. And Russell Gage, counting the last 2 games, has a total of 25 targets between his last game last year and this one. But yeah, I'm with you. With those receivers he has, he's a monster. By the way, Jasper was chiming back in. He said he's slow typing, but don't be fooled. Carson Wentz is going to get his players back. He's an Eagles fan, so you gotta love his loyalty.
Now that's what I'm talking about. Loyalty to people. Let's go. Yeah.
Trey, don't listen to him though. Start Big Ben.
Exactly. Please.
Right.
No, I think though, but to me that says they throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Period. Point blank.
Because they were. If we saw week 1 as an indicator of things to come, they're not going to be good again. So yeah, they're going to be throwing the ball, like you said, all over the place.
Man, so. Matt Ryan, I appreciate you, bro. I do.
Yeah.
I do. Bring me some championships.
So. Yeah, you could just say all Falcon receivers are good, right? Just, if you got them, start them.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Who you got on your list?
I had those ones you said as well. I thought you were going to steal some shine from Darius Slayton at first when you was talking about people.
I'm going to let you have.
We've had this debate also in the offseason about Sterling Shepard versus Darius Slayton. I think there's a room for both of them to eat, especially depending on how long it's going to take Golden Tate to get back. But I think my man Darius Slayton is showing you don't sleep on the skills. He put he had 9 targets, 6 receptions, 102 yards, and most importantly for fantasy, 2 touchdowns. So Slayton did it. I want to throw in, we mentioned before the show, we was talking about Robbie Anderson, who unfortunately took all the shine from DJ Moore, who's a player I was really big on. We'll see whether he can continue it. But while he was good, like I said before, I'm going to give Robbie Anderson a little love. I'm going to give Sammy Watkins some love for his first game, but I'm going to warn everybody, we saw Sammy Watkins do this last year. First game, he was a monster, and then you didn't hear from him until the Super Bowl. So don't overreact and go crazy for Sammy Watkins, because I guarantee you that ain't going to last you long. I want to give a couple of props to this other player, though. I need to clear my throat. I told your boy, I don't know if you're watching, but last week, we had a good friend of the show, Gorky, ask us a question. He asked, should I start William Fuller or should I start Stephon Diggs? Oh, yeah, I'm going to sit and enjoy this.
And I said...
hold on, wait, my story.
Okay, I got you. I'm sorry. Hey.
I'm going to clear my... I need the water just to make sure I have the larynx right for this.
Okay, I got you.
I said start William Fuller. You, sir... You and Tony, if he's watching, who was a guest on that show, said, no, you need to start Stephon Diggs because William Fuller's going to get hurt getting out of bed. Blase. He's always hurt.
Okay.
I'm going to take, you should never do this, by the way, off 1 week, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm taking a victory lap on being 100% right and saying William Fuller is a baller.
You just said don't overreact.
I know, but I'm doing it this week because I was 100% right. William Fuller was a monster, putting up 100, and only thing he missed was the touchdown. But he had 8 targets, 8 receptions, 112 yards. the touchdowns are going to come. I'm telling y'all, people, with no one else there, William Fuller is going to be a monster until week 6 when he gets inevitably hurt like he always does. But for those that have William Fuller, start him, monster. There you go. That's all my wife. I'm going to drop the mic on being 100% right on William Fuller. I don't know what Stephon Diggs did exactly, but I know it was next to nothing. So there you go.
I do want to. Well, Stephon Diggs ain't play too bad. He had 8 receptions, 86 yards. He ain't played too bad. That wasn't that bad. Now, I do want to shout out. Was he the number one
receiver there in Buffalo last week? Or was that John Brown? Okay, thank you.
John Brown was.
Exactly.
But I do want to shout out somebody that we forgot to talk about, Jamison Crowder. Crowder.
Thank you. Because I actually wrote him down. Jamison Crowder definitely deserves, because
had a really good game.
He did.
7 receptions, 115, and a touchdown. I mean,
yeah, he was the truth. Now we have a Saturday show, and on the Saturday show we cover each game and do rundowns. And guilty, I took my victory lap when I was right. I'm gonna hold my head and be honest. When I was wrong, I said don't play anybody on the Jets, not even Jamison Crowder, because they're awful. The Jets are awful, but Jamison Crowder was balling out. So, my bad.
Yeah,
my bad.
Now it's one thing, and your dad might chime in on this one. And I'm gonna go out on a limb.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say Ertz gonna get traded in a couple weeks because they have a tight end there that's just as good as him.
Better.
I mean, I don't know if he's better. I don't know if it's...
Well, hold up. If you care about all the things that make a tight end, maybe not. But if you're only a fantasy football player and care about receptions and just being able to flat out ball when he has the ball in his hands, better. Yes.
Yeah. Now, he balled out. Dallas Goedert
balled out.
He balled out. And that could have been because they were double teaming Ertz, and that could take away. But I'm telling you, the reason, and I say this because I know your dad commented. So the reason I say this is because he had a full-blown argument with the GM.
Yeah, he was mad.
He was mad because he didn't have his contract.
Right.
So I'm not saying they're going to trade him because of play. I think they may trade him because of just the whole altercation.
Right.
In a sense. Right. So if it don't get better, it's definitely going to get worse. And they could, because if they see what they got in Dallas, so we going to see. I'm saying that's my bold prediction. Down the line, they may try to trade him.
No, I would say I disagree for this year only because they have too many injuries at wide receiver right now, and more injuries to come because, like I said before, Deshaun Jackson will be injured soon.
You do not like Deshaun Jackson.
Hey, I tell the truth, though. So I don't think they can afford to part with Zach Ertz because really – Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz are the only reliable receivers they're going to have on that team. Jalen Reagor showed something. I was surprised Jalen Reagor was able to play that first game. But he looked decent. Not great, but decent. But right now, I don't see them getting rid of Ertz this year. However, like you said, he did bring up his contract, and I would not be surprised if Ertz is playing somewhere else next season.
Yeah, because he went at the GM like big time. Him and the GM got into a full-blown argument.
Yeah, I think now it's just a matter of necessity. They keep him. Unless they get a good offer. If someone makes
Now, let me ask you this. Do you see them doing that? Or do you think, hey, maybe we can get back a receiver that we may could use in exchange for Ertz?
You think that's during the season or just mean at the end of the
mean before the trade deadline? Do you see that something like that happening?
Well, I think they'll listen because the one thing Ertz was right about in his complaint, they didn't come out with the cash. So I think that's a sign right there that they're listening.
Okay.
Whether if I had to gamble, I'm throwing a dice. I say it probably doesn't happen.
Okay.
But I think they're going to be. It depends on what people are willing to part with to get him there. So.
I mean, personally, I wouldn't trade him because, in my eyes, he's probably the 4th best tight end in the league. I would probably say 3rd, because Mark Andrews is, to me, is he doesn't get the yards, but he gets the touchdowns.
Are we talking tight ends now? Because that he made my list of tight ends to talk about.
Oh, definitely talking tight ends.
Because
we can do tight ends.
And the reason why is going back to Lamar Jackson and him only throwing for what was it, 272, 275. I mean, I love me some Lamar Jackson for what he does, but he's capable of throwing the long ball. But he's a dunker. He's a dinker. He's a dunker. And that has Mark Andrews written all over it. And when Mark Andrews is near the goal line, you can just go ahead and mark touchdown on your list.
Because he's going to get it.
Andrews might be the number one tight end this year. And I'm a Kelsey guy. I know you're a Kittle guy.
Yeah.
Mark Andrews might be that person.
I mean, he had 10 touchdowns last year.
Yeah.
And he might can eclipse that.
Right. And like you said, it's not going to be because of yards. It's going to be because of touchdowns.
Off touchdowns. Yeah. So, because he doesn't, like last year, I don't even think he had a game over 100 yards last year.
Right.
It's just those touchdowns in between the 20. You gotta account for him. So I think he could definitely do numbers he can probably, like you say, he probably can end up as the number one tight end.
Yeah.
With it all said and done. And I think Ertz belongs in that conversation.
Yeah.
But Dallas is right behind him though. So now my boy Hunter Henry didn't play too bad either.
He did all right.
Yeah, I know. We know
right.
you don't
I'm also a Hunter Henry hater.
Yes.
He did well. He did well.
He had 5 receptions and 73 yards, which for me, I think that's good because of Tyrod Taylor. He's not going to throw as much as as a normal quarterback would. So he's a dink and dunk. So I mean, Hunter Henry played well. So your big guys outside of, because I know Kittle's got hurt a little bit, but like Kelsey, Ertz scored a touchdown. Yeah. So I mean, Dallas did well. Mark Andrews did well. So a lot of you guys, Jared Cook actually.
Jared Cook, he had the targets and the receptions.
Yeah, he just didn't get no touchdowns.
Yeah, what did he have, like 97 yards, something like that.
97 yards.
Yeah.
He had about 7 targets, 97 yards, but the touchdown wasn't there. But still, if you're playing in a PPR league,
right?
I mean, even 7, if you're getting 7 yards, 7 receptions, anything over 50, 60 yards, that's good from your tight end position. I mean, now, Kelsey going to get his.
Yeah.
They're going to throw Kelsey the ball. Kittle's going to get his. Ertz and Dallas, they all going to get there. It's the other guys. Like Hunter Henry going to get his 6, 7 receptions, 67, 70 yards, something like that. So, I mean, I look at those guys, and other than that, I don't really see any other tight end. Oh, we forget one.
Noah Fant.
Noah Fant.
Don't leave out Noah Fant because
Noah Fant.
Hey, and you might, well, maybe not anymore, but there was a time you could have picked them up pretty easily off waivers. And I'd also say, as long as Galladay's still hurt, TJ Hawkinson had a really good game as well.
Yes.
So,
I need Galladay to come back though.
Yeah, I would much rather have Galladay back. But otherwise, I think that
for my
covers
own purposes. So
So you gotta have selfishness in fantasy football, right?
Yeah, you got to. I mean, I'm not mad at that. Now, this is a topic I would like to talk about too. Who was most disappointing to you?
Everybody that plays for Cleveland. There you go. If they wore a Browns outfit, they were disappointing. But you probably should have had a lot of faith in them anyway. But
I'm going Tom Brady. Maybe I'm overreacting, but
he looked old.
He looked old. And I said this a while back ago. I said just because Jameis Winston threw 33 interceptions does not mean. I'm gonna tell you what it is. They don't block for the quarterback. And I said this on last week's show. I picked the Saints to win because I said my exact words were to get after Tom Brady, and that they did.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, he could not move. At one point, they tackled him so hard I thought he broke his leg. So he, at the end of the, I just think he looks old. Grunt looked old. Grunt was moving like an old man out there, man. So he was, and I want to say, you talked about this earlier. Drew Brees kind of disappointed
Yeah.
But they won, but you can't put him in that category a little bit.
The thing that I'm gonna give him a slight pass on, because I have this is in a super flex league. I had Matt Ryan and Drew Brees, and yes, Drew Brees is the reason why I lost. Even Matt Ryan, because Drew Brees gave me absolutely nothing. But they were winning, so I'm gonna give him that. And Michael Thomas is hurt, and it was near the end of the game, but he was pretty much a non-factor during the game. As well, so I'm hoping that gets better. I'm hoping Michael Thomas isn't hurt for too long. I'm hoping this isn't one of those season lingering things. But I think Drew Brees probably will be better. I'm gonna give him we were winning, we didn't really try that hard excuse, but he didn't even have 200 yards. And
not
for
even.
Drew Brees, that's not what you draft Drew Brees for.
Well, you know what I took away from that game?
Right.
It was a 3rd and 2, and they took Drew Brees out of the game.
Too much Taysom Hill. Yeah.
That's what I was about to say.
Once you said that, I knew where you were going.
I mean, they took him out of the game on a 3rd and 2 to put Hill in, and I did not understand what was the purpose for that, because I feel like he takes the rhythm away from Drew Brees, bringing him in, and the thing is, you ran a play for him, and he lost yards, if anything. So it's like, do you actually? I understand you paying him a good amount of money, you're paying him a lot of money, and you got to get him in the game to benefit, to make it worth your while. I get it, but put him at tight end or something. Right. Put him at fullback. Put him at running back. Well, you can't put him at running back because Kamari's there, but put him at fullback or something.
Yeah.
Put him at tight end.
You got options. I'm with you.
You got options. I would play him at tight end if you want to make it worth your while, but you don't bring him in at quarterback when, hey, you was losing at some point when you went 3rd and 2 and the game wasn't even over with. It was like the second quarter and it was 3rd and 2 and you want to bring him in the game. To me, that doesn't make sense. I think that takes away from the team, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's the thing about the gadget quarterback guy that you throw in. It's nice when it works, but it's disruptive to your starting quarterback. And as a fantasy football player, I don't like that because I don't have Taysom Hill on my roster, and I don't even know why we're doing this. If you have let's say they have some goal line packages that they want to run with them, okay, I give you that. But they were doing it all over the field. Maybe they were just trying stuff because it was week 1. But yeah, I'm with you. It was way too much Taysom Hill for my taste.
And I feel like this is gonna hurt me to say this though. It's really gonna hurt me to say this. Mm-hmm. But I was disappointed in the 49ers receiving and my boys receiving core because I expected
because Debo's not there. But
Debo's not there. I mean, but the thing is, Kendrick Bourne should have played better.
Right.
None of them played well. None of them.
They did not.
So it makes everybody else play bad because nobody can get open. And Prescott played bad. He threw for 275 yards, but that was garbage time yards. But if you watch that game against the Rams, he was missing people. Yeah. And I think they run, and I think they're going to run the ball more than they're going to pass the ball this year. And I have my reasons for saying that.
You're going to upset a lot of fantasy owners with that comment.
I'm just being real. I have my reasons for saying that because I think they don't want to pay him. And if you put the ball in his hands and he throw for 5,000 yards, you have to pay him accordingly.
Right.
So I think if you notice, they ran Zeke all game.
Yeah.
So Zeke got a lot of touches.
Zeke did his thing. Yeah.
Yeah, Zeke did his thing. Zeke balled out. We're not going to take it. But I just think Prescott, because he went high in a lot of people's draft, he missed a lot of passes he could have completed that he missed.
Right.
And it could be like I said earlier, it could be no OTAs, no preseason, and a lot of quarterbacks had those issues because basically this was the first game they played since the Super Bowl, and a lot of the guys were out of the playoffs at that point. So it's been some months since they played. So you got to chalk it up as rust. So I mean, that's my take on it.
Okay.
Do you have any more deep?
Now, like I said, all my disappointments were in the players we mentioned and all of Cleveland, the whole Cleveland team, because Austin Hooper was garbage. They gave him 4 years, $44 million to get 2 receptions. I guess he's happier now because Njoku got put on the injury reserve. He's done for it. So I expect Austin Hooper should be better, but still not great. Like you mentioned, OBJ was garbage, but I've been saying it all off season. Jarvis Landry is the guy to own for Cleveland because Baker Mayfield is a terrible quarterback, and he needs a Jarvis Landry. He can't hit OBJ, and OBJ is a shell of what it used to be anyway, and Baker Mayfield makes it even worse because he can't get him the ball. So
his numbers were terrible, man.
I sent you the joint.
I seen it.
I sent you the message. Like we were watching it. I was watching the game. I don't even think 5 minutes into the game he threw his first interception. I was like, there you go, because that's who Baker Mayfield is. But
21 of 39,
189 yards.
89 yards.
Because he's garbage.
To me, but you know that this is what I don't understand. You're going to drag other quarterbacks for not playing well, but you won't drag him for not playing well, though.
The best thing I saw on Twitter this week was someone said that Gardner Minshew is exactly who Baker Mayfield is supposed to be. Because Minshew's getting it done, and I would say with a lot less talent around him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hey.
Well, that go back to the point what I said. Like, this is a make or break year for Baker Mayfield.
I think so. It better be.
And if he don't show out with those weapons he got around him, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Oh, it's one guy I do really want to talk about. I forgot all about this.
Oh, who you got?
Nick Chubb. What happened to Nick Chubb?
I said all of Cleveland.
No.
But yeah, Nick Chubb especially.
Nick Chubb especially.
He needs a because he was going no later than the second round.
Yes.
Talk about it. Because we have a guy in one of our leagues who's Nick Chubb. We're not going to say his name, but I'm going to let you tell the story because you have the first-hand information.
So, anybody that listen to our podcast know that I have been saying Nick Chubb. I've been saying David Johnson is better than Nick Chubb for a long time. Yeah. And they said, you crazy. Why you say that? I say, well, because when you have Kareem Hunt there, who they just paid $13 million for 2 more years, he's going to get those third downs. He's going to get those slots. Nick Chubb is coming off the field on third down. Nick Chubb had 60 yards rushing on 10 carries. You know how many points that is, fancy? That's 6 points. Mm-hmm. And I've been saying this. So it's this guy in our league that we playing. He sent me a trade before the season started for David Johnson, Nick Chubb for David Johnson. And I called my brother on the other side. He was like, I don't know, man.
I did.
That's Nick Chubb. I might do it. I was like,
but explain to the logic behind me saying I might do it.
Well, he said the logic was because Nick Chubb is going to rush for 100 yards, da-da-da-da-da. He's going to be...
David Johnson, we don't know whether he's healthy.
We don't know what David Johnson's going to do.
After watching the week 1, I do not subscribe to that at all. One, because Nick Chubb is apparently Kareem Hunt's backup. And number 2, David Johnson looked good. David Johnson looked real. Hey, as long as he's healthy, but I did say that when Detroit. I said if David Johnson is healthy, I take David Johnson over Nick Chubb. But David Johnson's health scared me, so that's why I said I might have done it.
So
yes.
I will say this: what I have learned, and we've been doing this podcast for almost 2 years.
No, not even like close. It hasn't been a full year yet. No,
a full year. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. But what I learned was to do research. We do a lot of research.
Now that's we've been doing for years, right?
Yeah.
We've been doing. Actually, I'm gonna go back and say we've been doing this podcast, just not for the public. We've been doing it between each other, ourselves for several.
Which I don't understand is after drafts, we will sit and talk about the draft board. So we've been doing research for years.
Right.
So, but we do a lot more research now because of just the show purpose. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna check my resources. I'm gonna go check. And from weeks 10 to 17 last year, Nick Chubb averaged about 10 points per game. And that's when Kareem Hunt came back in the fold. And I was like, nope, I'm not doing it. I said, I'm going to wait and see. And I was right. So this guy is still trying to trade Nick Chubb to this point. He tried to trade to another guy in our league that I got a phone call from this morning on my way to work. He was like, man, we're going to guess who he tried to trade him for, JJ? Just take a wild guess.
Oh, dang it. You took Snell. It was Snell, right?
Benny
Snell. Right.
You tried to trade Nick Chubb for Benny Snell. Listen to that.
Right.
A backup running back for a running back that you took in the second round.
So that kind of lets you know how far things have fallen for Nick Chubb, right?
No, exactly. I'm like,
undrafted dude you're trying to get for him. Straight up. Yeah. It ain't good.
He's seen the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
Because he drafted Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. So he's seen the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
Look, man, I can't make this stuff up, man. I'm just saying.
Hey.
I told y'all not to draft. I told y'all Nick Chubb is not down, man. Yeah. He's not a
Which
PPR
is sad.
guy.
But because I honestly know for a fact Nick Chubb is, just from what we saw last year, it's no doubt Nick Chubb is good. But Cleveland is a wasteland, and it's going to waste everybody's talent that's there. A couple of comments from Nita. She says that, and this is right, Hugh Jackson knew Baker was garbage. That's why he didn't want to play him. And that's also why he got fired. But I think time is going to prove that he was right. And quite frankly, nobody can win in Cleveland until they change a lot of things in the offices. So that's another story. And we have another chime in. Philly is going to stay together, says my father. So he does not believe in the Zach Ertz trade.
Okay.
I don't believe in it this year. I'm looking for it next season though. And William Fuller is like a roller coaster. He's up and down, but baby, it's going up right now. So ride it while you can. It will go down. I'm pretty sure it will go. If history has indicated, it will go down. But ride it while it's hot. You know what I'm saying?
Oh gosh, he's you know that's funny.
Yes.
How do you feel about Deshaun Watson? Do you think? I think he's running for his life. I think he's going to be.
They're not going to be very good this year, but I think he's going to be fine because he has Nuke there, who's a monster. David Johnson. Oh, you said Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, but Nuke is not there anymore.
Oh, wrong team. I'm thinking Kyler. Yeah, Nuke is not there. Cancel that. Rewind. He has David Johnson there. And he has, of course, I just said, Will Fuller's there. So, no. Not feeling that one. But anyway, I like Deshaun Watson. I unfortunately, I'd say have him in one league, and I'm not that thrilled. I wasn't thrilled when I drafted him because I was worried about what his life would be like without Nuke.
Yeah.
But I still think overall he's going to probably, just out of necessity, I think it's going to probably be a top 10, top 15 quarterback. Because he like you said, he's running for his life, but he's a playmaker, and that's the one thing that's gonna pull him through. That's why I say he's still potential top 10. I think he definitely slides back from where it was last year, but I'm not panicking off what I saw that first week. Number one, Kansas City is not an easy team to play against, so I think he has other games on the schedule that make him look a lot better.
Well, he got a tough one this week. Baltimore.
Yeah, he does. The easy one is not this week. Actually,
it's not easy this week.
But hey, he does get to play the Jaguars twice, so that should help him out.
Yeah. Do you think they add a receiver to help him out?
No, not this year. I think.
You don't think so?
I don't think so this year, unless, as always, when Fuller does get hurt, or if there's something with Brandon Cooks getting, because we didn't really.
He hurt anyway. Brandon Cooks still he hurt now.
So
what?
They needed to get another wide receiver in the offseason. I don't think they're doing it during the year. I think he has who he has, which is sad. Okay. But Yeah.
That's not a lot there. But
Yeah.
I mean, I got him
But
in one league, and I hope he do well.
yeah.
I have to start him this week in one league, which I don't know if I really want to.
Yeah. I'm
I'm
with you.
probably go a different route.
If you drafted Deshaun Watson, you're starting him because you had to take him pretty early. So
Yeah, that's true.
yeah,
But I also got
you might not like it, but you kind of
I mean,
unless it's
it's
yeah,
a one
it's a
quarterback
one.
league.
I'm about to
So
say unless it's a one quarterback league, you might get away with it. But
I mean, I think I got Big Ben in that league, so I probably can throw Big Ben in. So
okay,
I ain't tripping too much over there.
right.
So I don't know. It just I think they got to add a receiver though, man, to help them out.
They need one, but I just don't know
Yeah,
if it happens this year. Speaking of adding receivers, let's talk a little bit about some waiver wires were today. I know
yeah,
some of our viewers made some acquisitions. Um, of course, at the top of the list was Hines, Snell,
yeah.
and Malcolm Brown. I think probably was on a few people's, depending on how comfortable you feel with him. But I wanted to say a wide receiver who's not just a free agent available on fantasy leagues, but a new addition to your personal team, Mohamed Sanu. Do you think he gets that work with the
Um,
49ers?
I think Mohamed Sanu, he's gonna come in and more than likely start
Right,
because he know the playbook. He's been with Cal
right.
Shanahan before in two different stints with Atlanta and I want to say Washington, but I could be wrong about that. But I think he comes in and he get the ball rolling. He starts. It's
Mm-hmm.
like last year when Emmanuel Sanders came in and he kind of started right off the bat.
Right.
Um, because we honestly we need that veteran leadership because Debo's not there. Brandon Ayuk is healthy this week, so he's gonna play.
Right.
So I think they're gonna roll out Brandon Ayuk and uh, Mohamed Sanu. So I don't think he has any fantasy impact, but I do think he helps the
Right.
team in real life.
Okay.
So I do though. I don't think he have that. I could be wrong, but I don't think he has any fantasy impact at this moment.
Yeah.
That could change though.
I probably leave
So
him on. I'm with it. I won't because you're my 49ers expert. So
yeah,
I was thinking I leave him on the wires for now to see what he does. But in
yeah.
your deepest of leagues, maybe he's worth a pickup.
Maybe, but
But
I wouldn't touch him right now because you
right,
really don't know what route they're gonna do if he's gonna start. I think he
right,
should start coming in because obviously the receiving core didn't do too well last week.
yeah,
I think Trent Taylor had like 3 receptions. The other receiver had 1.
right,
Kendrick Bourne had 2. So it's like all the receptions, all the completions that Jimmy G had went to the running backs.
yeah,
Mustard,
mustard,
the
yeah,
Kennan. I mean, so it's like all that. It was not to anybody tight ends. So it's like it wasn't the receivers.
right,
So he will come in. I think Brandon Ayuk is definitely gonna start this week, and he could come in and start immediately because he has size
yeah,
and the leadership is there. So we'll see.
okay,
Personally, it's a good thing, but fantasy.
yeah. I think we're back. Okay, we got disconnected for just a short while there. Um, we left off talking about Robbie Anderson as a good
Yeah.
pickup for the waiver wires. I was mentioning Scotty Miller.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's gonna be an impact, especially if with the uncertainty with Mike Evans and now apparently Chris Godwin all dealing with some sorts of injuries. So
Yeah.
there's room for Scotty Miller to be a big part of. Much like, the Edelman in the past, so Wes Welkers, the Amendolas that Tom Brady has used, Scotty Miller fits that role exactly. Um,
Yeah.
we're there? Okay. Yeah.
Uh,
Leonard
I
Fournette is the
have
question.
I have Fournette in 2 leagues.
Hmm.
I feel like Fournette, and he has to take the job this week. But according to reports, Ronald Jones, he outrushed him.
Yeah.
He had more carries. And they say Ronald Jones is still the
The
guy
guy.
there.
Yeah.
I mean, if he don't take it by week 4, I don't think he's gonna take it at all. And Ronald Jones is not the best running back on the planet. I mean, geez, if you can't beat out Ronald Jones, then something is totally wrong with you. So I would say give it week 4, week 5. At first, I was saying about week 3, but from what I seen last week, I don't see it happening by week
Right.
3. But by week 5, he has to take the job by week 5 for me.
Well, for your fantasy purposes, I agree with you. I think this would be the week to gauge it more than anything. Because week 1, I wasn't expecting him to do much. I did think he was going to get involved a little bit more than he was with their game plan. But the issue, I think the bigger issue for me was that whole Tampa Bay offense looked like a mess. And so even if he gets it, I don't know if I'm happy with it. That just we had a conversation about this in the offseason, and you mentioned it a little bit earlier in the show. Jameis Winston, for all his interceptions, made that offense click. I don't think they're going to have the same level of offense with Tom Brady because he's not that same kind of quarterback. But to give you a direct answer, I still think it's by week 4. By week 3, you should see him ramped up, and 4 it should be all his. Because, like you said, Ronald Jones is a terrible running back. To be honest with you, he had all the carries that first game and did nothing with it. Again, the whole offense looked bad. But Ronald Jones, we've seen in years past not do anything. Leonard Fournette, we at least know on bad teams he's looked like the guy. So if he can't take that job from Ronald Jones by week 4, there's a problem that I can't even explain.
Honestly, I think really I don't even think it's this week. I think it's really to tell him he would really have to. This week he gonna have to kind of take it a little bit more, but week 3 he should take full control at least to get into week 4 where he's completely the man. But another thing that I don't understand is LaShawn McCoy got 25 carries, which I just don't get that. I mean, he didn't get 25 carries. I'm sorry,
you mean snaps?
But he had 25. He had 25 snaps.
Yeah.
So they broke the snaps up. I just don't understand. When you have Leonard Fournette, I think you start him instantly over those 2 guys anyway.
Right.
But I don't understand. To me, Leonard Fournette should have it anyway. But I'm saying by week 4 or 5, he should take the job away from him.
Right.
But
like I said,
we'll see.
I'm expecting his snaps and his touches to increase this week. I'm starting to get worried because much like you, I went high on Leonard Fournette because I thought he was going to be with the Jaguars, where he's been a workhorse, his whole career. So I'm a little bit scared for Leonard Fournette. But another question is if Landry doesn't start tomorrow, and we were going to talk. We do want to talk about that game, I guess, before the night's over. Should he start Odell because he says he had 10 targets? Too bad he has a toaster throwing. I love that. Yeah, this is Bash Baker Mayfield night because we're all doing it. Jeez, I think you kind of have to if Jarvis Landry isn't playing. Because, I mean, he has to throw to somebody. And right now, the only options are Odell and Austin Hooper. because if Landry doesn't play, there's no... But I don't like it. Here's the one thing. Since this question come up, we should probably jump in a little bit about tomorrow night. I hate everybody. The only thing that makes this game even halfway watchable is both teams are so bad that it might interestingly be good enough. But
so you don't think, AJ, you don't think Joe Burrow might do anything?
I mean, Joe Burrow's a rookie, and I expect him to play like a rookie.
That's true.
Last week, he didn't look terrible. I mean, but he looked like a rookie should look. Yeah. And so, I mean, I like AJ Green. I'm glad he was able to actually start this season and be healthy. I like Tyler Boyd. I like a lot of receivers. I love Joe Mixon. But I just don't think that team is going to be that good because I know you dislike Joe Burrow even more than I actually like Joe Burrow, but I have realistic Joe Burrow expectations, in which case that keeps me from really being big on anybody in Cincinnati other than maybe Joe Mixon.
You remember we had a conversation about I think it was last Tuesday or something. We was talking and we were saying that how many games Joe Burrow would win, right? And I said that it's some games that are gimme for him. I feel like this Cleveland game is a gimme for him. He should be able to win this game. Not having a coming out party, but I think he should put up decent numbers against Cleveland because they have a shot of winning that game just because of the fact that Baker Mayfield is trash. In my book, he's trash. So I feel like I agree with you. Is no real fantasy guys there. I wouldn't put. My personal opinion, I don't play guys on unless it's one of my stud guys that I drafted first. I don't like playing guys on Thursday night because I don't think you get the best out of them on Thursday night.
Right.
That's just one of my rules that I really don't like doing. But if you gotta start Odell, I'll go Odell. But I don't see anybody really. Joe Mix had 76 yards rushing, no touchdowns last week. That's 7 points.
Yeah. So, like I said, the only thing that makes it fantasy that they're both teams are so bad that maybe you get something, but that's not the kind of gamble I want to make. I don't think either of these teams are much fantasy worth. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt fight each other too much for either one to be a reliable source. Like I said, if Landry is indeed out, but then I guess Odell's your best option. So sure, but I said if you have better players on your bench, let us know who they are, and I'm hoping you have a better choice because like I'm with you. I don't. It's sort of like I'm gonna go to a different analogy. You have a stock investment where you have something that's tanking, it's going down. You wait for that bounce up before you jump on. You don't jump on while it's still going down. You're like, I need to see Baker Mayfield do something with this offense before I'm jumping on any of those players because I'm with you. He's terrible, and that offense is terrible because of him. So I would rather see some production before I start suggesting start anybody on that team.
Let us know the rest of you, like what other options do you have, and we could help you out a little bit more.
Yeah.
But right now, they wouldn't have for Odell, so it's kind of like you gotta play him in a sense because you invested a high pick in Odell. Now, I mean, I just don't know, man. Baker Mayfield. If you put any other good quarterback in that offense, those guys would be excellent. It's just Baker Mayfield is just not the guy, and then I'm gonna keep saying it. He's not.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying. I just don't think so.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. I think that's about all the fantasy of that game tomorrow because it's really, like I said, I'm with you. There's not a lot there.
It's not a lot there.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot there.
So, I don't have any. I ain't playing nobody. I got Landry, and I'm half tempted to sit Landry on the bench this week in one of my leagues because he's really hurt, honestly.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I mean his hip, that hip is an issue.
Yeah, so definitely.
But I will say, and I've said it before, Landry is the only person I have confidence because Landry has shown that no matter what, he can produce. And if he's hurt, then I don't have confidence in anybody. Anita mentions, she says tomorrow's a waste of TV.
She might be right.
She's 100% right. She's
definitely right about that.
Yeah, she thinks that Burrow's getting too much love, like he was Tom Brady. But yeah, I know you're gonna agree with that one. So we
agree on something.
Y'all finally found that common ground.
Well, we've been we agreed on that a long time ago. So I've been down on Joe Burrow for a very long time. I just don't. Joe Burrow is so overhyped in my book. I just don't believe it, man. I just don't. I could be wrong. I'll take it. I come up here and say, look.
Well, I don't think this year is going to convince you that you're wrong, just because I expect him to struggle. He should.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody. Here's one for my father. No one comes into the pros performing like LeBron, other than a person like LeBron, who has to be built. And you're not going to see a quarterback come in and perform that kind of way. So, yeah. That's my one. That's my one yay LeBron thing. So fortunately he's typed slow, so he might not get a chance to comment on it before the show goes off.
Honestly, I'm trying to remember a quarterback coming in and actually playing well.
Yeah, like from jump.
From jump.
Now there's people who sat and then come in, like Patrick Mahomes came in and Lamar Jackson, but they had to sit for a while before they got just coming in playing.
Well,
sadly,
hold up. RG came in.
Yeah, RG came in. How did that go?
I mean, the second year he didn't come in.
Yeah, okay, I give you that. His rookie year was something.
His rookie year, he
you get actually, that one. I'm gonna give you that one.
He won Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Based off his performance, he played well. He got the Redskins to the playoffs.
True enough.
I mean, the coach killed his leg, but we all know how that went down. So
good point though. I didn't think about him.
I mean, I think that's the most recent one. I can't think of nothing else. So I think he's the only one.
Yeah.
So I mean, we don't got any more questions. We can.
Yeah.
Roll up out of here.
I think the only thing we had left since we got out that terrible game out the way, we had some Hall of Fame announcements today. So
a lot of nanas up there, by the way, people. A lot of nanas up there. I'm just letting y'all know. A lot of nanas up there. I'm getting real close to the screen now. A lot of nanas out there. Just letting y'all know. Huh?
But I'm going to say congratulations to one of my favorite players to watch, Peyton Manning, who's great in commercials, was great on Saturday Night Live, and was great for my fantasy football loves and dreams because he's bought me a championship or two, and so he'll be there. Charles Woodson, the great Oakland Raider, playing for Green Bay first, but who cares about that? The great Oakland Raider, Charles Woodson.
Disregard Green Bay like that? I mean, geez. Yeah,
no one cares. No one cares.
Okay, hey, no problem.
So, and Steven Jackson's on the list. I can't say he was much fantasy help for me in the past, but still, I don't know if he makes it the first round. I don't think he makes it his first time up. Peyton Manning and Charles Woodson, I think, are lots for their first time up. Peyton Manning definitely. Charles Woodson. Yeah, but Charles Woodson should be up there.
He should make it.
But it's hard to say.
Yeah. But we'll see.
Any other?
John Lynch should make it this year.
Oh yeah, John Lynch.
He supposed to have been made it 2-3 years ago, but who knows? Look. Hopefully, a lot of good guys make it. Honestly, I think they pick the wrong guys sometimes. Honestly, man, some of them guys they let in that ain't supposed to go in. Honestly, so we'll see. We'll see, definitely. But long as a couple of nanas make it, I'm good.
So that'll be fun to see how that goes. Before we go, another comment from Jasper Lewis, not me, my father. He has Odell Beckham and Deshaun Jackson, and rightfully he's disappointed with both of them. He said he's going to go with Deshaun Jackson over Odell. That's what I was like. Before we go, we have to. I tie this in. We have a Saturday show. For those that don't want, so where we talk a few things about games tonight, but we're gonna go game by game on Saturday. So stay posted. Look for us on you. It's not a live show, but we're gonna post it early on Saturday. We're gonna go through every game and tell you the players that you should put in. I mentioned that because last Saturday I did mention Deshaun Jackson as a good start. It did not work well, and so for me, if he didn't do it that first game, maybe this one, but I'm not really that convinced. But I'll let you know for certain how I feel about Deshaun Jackson on Saturday's show.
Definitely. And also, get your friends, tell your family members, subscribe to the page. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, like all of them. Because we coming, people. We are coming. We got shows on Saturdays. We got shows on Wednesday. Yeah. We coming. So, like everything, we definitely appreciate everybody that tuned in, commenting, and definitely love all our fans. I do.
All right. So speaking of that Saturday show, Jacob texts back. He said he has Devontae Parker, and so he has a whole list of injured wide receivers. So I guess OBJ is a must start for you. So
who's his other receivers?
You had the Devontae Parker, Cortland Sutton. He mentioned before Jarvis Landry. He has OBJ. It's like he has the all injured wide receiver team. So luck has not been good to you in the early season.
No, it has not.
And then just a question of who we have for the Monday night game. I'm gonna save my opinion on the Monday night for Saturday.
You gotta watch them. You gotta watch them Saturday.
You will see. I'm not letting you go without showing. If I can put this up here, you can see our pick. We did this last Saturday. These are our picks of the games, and what you should most certainly notice if you don't see anything else. I'm 11-5 on my picks. Mr. Rodney is 8-8 on his game picks. So you got a ways to go before you can catch up with me.
No, because first of all, the Cowboys shouldn't have lost. The 49ers shouldn't have lost. A lot of teams shouldn't have lost. So it's okay. I'm good with
shoulda, woulda, coulda.
We starting off
cold,
but cool.
Yeah, we're gonna see how it goes. So tune in Saturday. You'll see the rest of we'll put out some more picks on games. I tell you this, I got a shocker for you for that Monday night. You better be ready for it. So we'll go game by game, tell you who you should pick, all your players. Hope you watch. Let us know. Hit that like, hit that subscribe.
Definitely.
I think that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. So thank you for tuning in, people.
Yeah. Later. Peace.
Later.